Good evening, everyone, and welcome to A Gypsy's Kiss. Tonight, Toby welcomes back Cris Dotson, creator of the Hope Chest treasure hunt, for a focused update on where things stand, what searchers should know, and what is coming next. The Hope Chest hunt has now been underway for several years, with searchers still working through the tag sequence and the final capsule still waiting to be found. But tonight is not just about the main hunt. Cris is also preparing for the Hope Chest Hoedown, an August gathering in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, built around community, conversation, a Q&A session, and a special one-day treasure hunt connected to the event. So tonight, Toby and Cris will cover 3 areas: the current state of the Hope Chest treasure hunt, the plans for the August event, and the one-day treasure hunt Cris is creating for the people who attend. As always, the goal is not to give away anyone's solve. The goal is to understand the structure, the spirit, and the opportunity in front of the search community. Here's Toby.
Hey friends, thanks for joining me tonight. Tonight, as Erica said, we have Cris Dotson on the show for a little Q&A, and we're going to talk about the 3 areas that Erica mentioned. Before I do that, I'd like to do a little housekeeping. I'd appreciate it if you, before you leave tonight, you like the video. YouTube likes it when you like our videos. Share it with your family, your friends, your neighbors, your business associates, the entirety of your social network so that we can grow the channel. Finally, if you are already not a subscriber, click on that subscribe button. When you see the notifications bell, click on the notifications bell, and that way every time we start a live stream, you'll be immediately informed and as a result in the know. There was one other. Oh, there is giveaways tonight. We'll do giveaways at the end of the show after Cris is finished. I did get copies of the Tao of treasure hunting in, so we'll give a copy of that away tonight. And of course, as always, one of our very beautiful AGK challenge coins, AGK logo on one side, and the Field Notes Pro. The reason I'm moving it back and forth is because the camera is right in front of me. So the Field Notes Pro logo on the other side. So it's a very attractive coin. 1 3/4 inches in diameter and nice and thick and heavy. It'll weigh your pocket down. So tonight's keyword is hope, #Hope Chest. So make sure that you enter it in the chat sometime tonight. Do not enter it more than once because Nightbot will disqualify you, and you don't want to be disqualified by Nightbot because he's annoying. He can be really annoying. So, okay. And don't say mean things about people because he'll kick you out of the room. He's my moderator. Even though he's just AI, another AI. Okay, let's bring Cris on board so we can say our hellos and get started with the Q&A so you guys don't get bored because Cris has a lot of good stuff to say. Hey, Cris, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Very good. I'm glad to have you here. You ready for a little conversation about those 3 areas?
Ready as I'm ever going to be.
All right. You take your time with the answers. I've got very short questions, so you just talk as much as you want. First area is the state of the the state of the Hope Chest treasure hunt. Cris, how would you explain the Hope Chest treasure hunt to someone hearing about it for the first time?
It's a hunt created or stemming off of Force Fin's hunt. And if they don't know what Force Fin is, then I tell them to look it up. It's a inspirational memoir and a $50,000 treasure hunt. And it's pretty easy. It's first 4 tags are pretty easily accessible. You buy the book, you read the book. I tell people to read it several times, and then the clues and a poem are in the book, and that'll lead you to the first tag. And each time you get a tag, you get a poem, and then that'll lead you to the next tag along with more clues in the book. And you do that until the 4th tag, and then you get a poem, and that'll lead you to the capsule. And then when you figure out where the capsule is, there will be something that you will find that will tell you a 2-foot radius to dig. I'm not exactly 2 foot, but I'm just saying a roundabout.
Reasonable.
2 foot radius. You'll dig about 2 feet in the ground. and hopefully you find an 18-inch long, 7-inch round, big silver pill looking time capsule like thing, and it'll have my emblem HC, the Hope Chest stickers all over it, so you know that you found the right thing. Which I think you would know that you found the right thing by then. But and
Yeah.
then once you find that, then there's instructions in there, and you follow them, and you get $50,000.
And it's $50,000 in cash.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not $10,000 in cash and a bunch of gold. Yeah, it's $50,000 cash.
Yeah, not hamburgers on Tuesday or anything like
exactly.
that.
All right. Cris, what is the current status of the hunt?
So there are probably, I've kind of lost track on the first tag, the green tag, but it's probably 50 plus people have found the green tag. And then the second tag, which is the red tag, there has only been 2 people find the red tag.
Wow, 50. The last time we talked, which wasn't actually that long ago, but I remember only 2 people had found the first tag.
Yeah.
So now it's 50 people with the first tag, 2 people with the second tag.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it shows promise, everybody, it kind of went stagnant there for a while. And then I did a couple of things where I gave some hints and clues to kind of, I guess, help push it along or whatever have it. And some people got them and some people didn't. And but I sat down with the 2 people that actually found the second tag, and I went back and I asked them, I said, hey, once you found it, would you agree that everything that you needed was in the book? And they were like, oh yeah, totally. And so I wanted to make sure that I had done people justice, that it wasn't too hard or it was a terrible, poem or whatever, the clues
Right.
and stuff. And everybody said, or the 2 people said, oh, there's no reason why, people shouldn't be finding the red tag. So that made me feel good about, the way I designed it. So,
well, I'm going to ask you the next question. We'll help you cover that. What does the current progress tell you about how the hunt is working?
I think it's working just how I designed it. I wanted it to be a longevity or marathon or, hunt where it lasted as long as Force Fins did, so I wanted people to create relationships, and I wanted it to be generational, to be honest with you. And it wasn't, I know I didn't have a lot of money to, the millions of dollars or whatever some of these hunts are and stuff. But to me, it wasn't about that. To me, it was giving the searchers or the community just something that they could do again in the time of need when everything happened.
So the $50,000, do you have that in this? This is not on my list, but it just came up as you were talking about it. Do you have that invested in a way that it continues to increase in value until it's actually found?
No, but I have started to.
Okay.
So,
all right. How do you feel about the pace of the hunt?
I haven't really advertised the hunt, and it's organically grown over the last 3.5 years. So that has, I really like how it's gradually grown. How I've learned about things about the hunt, not necessarily mistakes or anything, but just learned about the way that it's evolving. And so far it's been great. I haven't had hardly any negativity at all. And that's that I worked really hard to design it to where I wouldn't have any negativity at all.
Good. What was your design goal when you created the tag sequence?
Well, I wanted, it was kind of like, like what John Collins said about his different boxes. He said that he kind of made each box different for different maybe age groups or genres or just people's differences or likes or whatever. And that was kind of the same thing. But I wanted each tag, when we talk about treasure hunting, I didn't want it just to be the same thing over and over again. And, oh, I figured this out. Well, now I've got this figured out because I know the way he thinks, or I know the way that this was found. That's how I'm going to find the next one. Well, it's not that way. Each tag is totally different. It's like it's like it's like playing a game, and then you got the award or the answer for that game that puts you on to the next game, but the next game isn't the same as that game. It's a whole new adventure. So that's and it might not be, when I say adventure, it might not be what you think of as adventure. It might be a lesson in life, or it might be a whole different type of fun. So that's I just wanted to make each one of them different.
All right. How possible is it for a searcher to go straight to the capsule while ignoring the tags?
No, you have to find the tags sequentially. The chance that anybody would ever find the capsule is, I don't know what the chance is, but it's really really low. I don't ever see it happening.
All right. I've got a question from the chat room. We'll put it up. I'll read it to you. It's from Todd Clements. Would you say the poems will lead you to a pretty exact spot, or more of a general area that needs a pretty fair searching?
For each tag?
I imagine that's what he's talking about.
Each tag's a little different. I'd say it's gonna lead you to a general area, or something that you'll identify with, and kind of make that once you're in the right area, and I could mean, like, I don't really know how to explain it, but when you're in the right area, you'll realize it, and you'll not want to leave that area until you've searched up and down for at least a half a mile.
Well, let me ask it a different way. When you're in the right area, will you know you're in the right area?
You should. I would think you. I would think you. If you figured it out, you should. Yeah.
All right. This one's a little bit more under from a bottom look at the thing. How did you approach the difficulty curve from one tag to the next? How did you create that level of increased difficulty?
That was probably one of the hardest things, because when you're writing these poems, and what you're trying to hide within them, the clues and stuff, everybody's mind thinks differently. So that was probably one of the hardest things to do, because you have to think how other people think. You have to almost turn yourself into AI. The way AI gives answers, informational answers for people. And, it helped with me being a previous long, a 7-year treasure hunter or whatever. I'd seen all the rabbit holes, or I'd seen the way that people thought. And I started training myself not to think the way that everybody was thinking. When you see, just like when they hold up a ink blot and you say, 9 out of 10 people say, that's a octopus. And then, the other person says, oh, well, that's a bug on my windshield, So, that one person thinks out of the box, and that one person might be the person that finds it, but that's what I had to kind of train myself and think backwards and make it where people couldn't reverse engineer stuff. But I also wanted to make it was really hard, to make it, is this one harder than that one? This one needs to be harder than that one. So, so yeah, it was probably one of my biggest challenges, really. That's why it took so long.
What makes each tag its own adventure?
I can't really reveal that. So
No.
they're just they're different, in themselves or whatever.
Okay. What can you tell searchers and help them understand about the sequential structure of the tags? And again, I'm not, if I'm getting too close to giving away clues, just say so and we'll move on.
Ask the question again. I'm sorry.
What should searchers understand about the sequential structure of the tags?
Well, it's pretty simple. So the first tag, so when I first designed the website, you were supposed to be able to go in there and register, and then after you found a tag, you would put all that in and everything. Well, it kept on messing up. So if you are new to the hunt or you're looking to get into my hunt, so it's really simple. I've tried to keep it really simple. And when you buy the book and you figure out the first tag, when you get to the first tag, then you'll email me and you'll say, I believe I found the first tag. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably going to say either text me or email me a picture of you, a selfie of you in the tag. And then I need a picture of your ID. That's only for the first tag. Mm-hmm. And then from there on, when you find a tag, all you'll do is send me a selfie with you in the tag. Or if you have somebody there to take a picture of you in the tag, but that's all you have to do. And as you find the tags and you send me that picture, I will send you a poem. And so far, I've loved, I love getting the pictures of everybody. That's one of the reasons why I did it too. I did it because I want to know that they're getting out there also, mm-hmm. and getting boots on the ground, and it's them, and they're not, just lazy or whatever. And I want this. I'm designing this for people to get out there and have a good time and see things, Mm-hmm. So, but when people send me their pictures, I just love the cheesy smile on their face. There's mm-hmm. not. I don't think I've ever got one where somebody was like, oh, I found the tag finally. Most of them are like, so it's funny. But, and then whenever I send them the poem, I design the poems and stuff just like I do, and everything. So everybody's like, when they get it, they're like, oh, cool. That, that's, I like, oh, that's neat looking, or whatever. So.
What plans do you have for sharing those images on social media, if at all?
Which images? The cheese images or the
images that people are sending you of them finding the tag?
I haven't shared them because I didn't really, I wanted to ask people's permission because some people, they might have the FBI looking for them. I don't know. So, mm-hmm. So I
need the $50,000 on that.
yeah. Hey man, I need to get to Mexico quick. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, so I mean, I haven't. I don't know. I haven't. But I could go back through like the emails and text and stuff, and maybe make a collage at the Hope Chest Hoedown.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, so that's an idea.
How should searchers think of the role of the book in the treasure hunt?
It's they should think of it as their Bible. I don't want to compare it to the Bible, but just figures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, just like Forrest said, he wrote. It was funny whenever I did Forrest Finn's hunt, I got too far to walk first. Mm-hmm. Whenever I first, because I had the map in it and mm-hmm. I didn't know any better. And then I was like, oh, well, there's a book before this. And then, a year into it, studying and watching videos and stuff. And then he's like, then I ended up buying the other book and I even bought the revised version of the third book, and stuff. But in the end, even though I read those other books over and over and over again, in the end, it came down to me just holding the thrill of the chase, saying, "He told me this is all I need, so I just need to focus on this book and just dissect it." And so, I haven't wrote any other books, but my book is the only thing. You can study other things and watch other things, like I mentioned in the book and stuff, but and they could help maybe set your mindset a little bit, but really all you need is my book.
That's why a lot of people don't know that Forrest had written 10 books by the time he wrote the Thrill of the Chase. All right, so let's go on to the next step. What role do the poems play in the hunt?
They're the icing on the cake once you get a bite of each one of your cakes on the way. So I would imagine, if you're cooking a cake and you got the cake, you're going to start off on the first tag. It's going to be a nice cupcake, but the poem is going to be your icing, and then the next one is going to be a cake, an actual cake, a little bit bigger, and the poem is going to be your icing. Then the next one is going to be a double-decker cake, and the next poem is going to be your icing. So the book is the cake, the base of it all, and then the poem is what's getting you,
makes the difference.
Yeah, makes the difference.
All right. What role does the map play in the hunt?
The map. Well, for one, it tells you there's 5 states to look in, and it has some stuff on it that could be clues or hints too. I wouldn't have a lot. I don't know if I've ever said this on another podcast or whatever, but I actually reached out to the guys, Neil and Bridger, the guys that work for Benchmark or own big Benchmark maps, the guys that made Forrest Finn's map. And I said, man, I really like the way Forrest Finn's map looked, can you help me design a map? And I told him what I wanted. And then as we structured it, I refined it. And of course I couldn't explain to them why or how or what I was doing to refine it. And they helped me refine it. But I spent over I think $3,000 making that map.
Wow.
Just
a beautiful map.
And if it would have been like a few years later, I could have probably did it myself on ChatGPT. But that's not the case. But anyway, so, and when it came out, I thought, man, I thought that at the time when it came out, the way it all came out with the symbol on it and everything, because I created the symbol and stuff too.
The Hope Chest wax seal.
Yeah. And, and I created that. And when I created that, I was like, oh man, that looks like some Goonies shit right there. That looks like, it just looks like, what's his name? The Hook, what is his name? The Hooked X guy. You know who I'm talking about. He's been on the History Channel and stuff. Warder or whatever his name is. I thought, man, that's kind of like some Hooked X stuff, so when it all came together, I was like super happy. I was like, man, I think it even looks better than the Forrest Finn map. I mean, different, but I just was like really happy with it.
I still have my framed copy of the signed Forrest Finn map.
Awesome. I know there was some really nice. I was hoping people eventually would do some really nice stuff like people did with the Forrest Finn map. How they put the coins around it and different things in some of the that's where I was envisioning, and sometimes I'll send people 2 maps. I believe I might have sent
You
you two
sent me
maps,
to, yeah, I gave away one.
and I'll sign one, and then I'll leave one blank so that they can do their detective work on it and stuff. But the maps just I wouldn't say it's just as important as the book, but it's just as important as the poems and stuff.
Again, in continuation with these questions, only because I'm trying to get as much information as I can. What role do the images play in the hunt?
They're very important. There's over 100 images, and some of it's my artwork, and some of either my friends or other treasure hunters that are my friends too. But what it came down to is I was being really meticulous about the book, and I was running out of time, and it's my own clock or my own time, but I felt like I needed to get it out there. So what I did was I reached out to some people and said, "Hey, would you be interested in doing some paintings for me?" These are paintings that I already have in my head, and I can tell you or describe or give you pictures kind of what I want painted. But I just don't have time because of my work schedule and stuff, overseeing $20+ million commercial construction jobs, and I just didn't have the time to do it. And I didn't want this thing to drag on and drag on and drag on and not come out, because I wanted to be the first to put out something and be there for the community. So I hired, or I paid these guys to do these paintings and stuff, and all they knew was what I told them to paint. And that's what they did. They did an excellent job at what I told them to do, and that's it. And we're still friends. We've continued. One of them's Rich Blanford. The other one's Jeff Conway. Jeff Conway's a phenomenal artist, and they both just paint their butts off every day. I think. I don't know if Rich ever comes out of his basement at all. So.
How do you decide which searcher questions are fair to answer?
I don't know. There's something, a little person in the back of my head that tells me yes and no. I guess I can't answer that. There's a gut feeling in me that, and maybe I have answered some stuff that I never should have. I know there's some stuff out there that I've said that I feel like, and it's not that I didn't slip up. It was just things that I said. I'm like, well, should I have ever said that? Because I mean, really, it's just, but then again, how do you scale how much you're telling people? Because people think differently. There's a clue that I put out there about the second tag that nobody has really figured out, except for one person. And I only know because they told me about it accidentally in a conversation, and they still didn't realize that they had even figured it out. And I was like, I can't believe that they don't know that they figured that out, So, yeah. But that one clue was, I thought, man, there's going to be a lot of people find the second tag now, but it hasn't.
It hasn't worked out that way.
Yeah.
What advice would you give someone starting the hunt today?
To buy the book, read it at least 3 times. And I know there's people out there that have read my book in like a couple days, but that's not the type of reading I would do. I would take your time and take a good week and read it at least, like, take a whole week and read it 3 times. So at least take 3 weeks to a month to really, really go through it. And yeah, if you do that and you're a pretty good treasure hunter, chances are you're going to probably figure out the first tag, and then that'll hurry up and get you to the second tag, and then you really need to go back in and dig in and read it, 2, 3, 4 times, and really and go back and look at all the interviews. Go on. I tell everybody to go on Mysterious Writing forum and look up the Hope Chest forum, and there's there's subtopics in there. Go through every one of those subtopics and look at everybody's what they've talked about and where they've been, or and then I guess there's some other Discord stuff, and I never go on any of that stuff, and maybe get on there and look at the past of what people have talked about. But there's one good thing that people have, I guess, done to respectively grant my wish or whatever is people have really been tight-lipped about, even though the first tags somewhat easier than all the other tags, that everybody's been really tight-lipped about the first tag and the second tag, so they're not ruining other people's hunt or adventures that they've because when you buy the book, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for these adventures, or a ticket to find $50,000. But so
anybody who wants to ruin my chances by giving me the clues to tags 1 and 2, please don't feel bad about it all. All right, before we go on to the next section, I've got some questions in the room that I'd like to get out. Todd asks, do you think your music background helped you with writing the poems?
Possibly. I've been writing poems ever since I was a little kid. And that's probably one of the reasons why I went into songwriting, or, what's the saying in songwriting? In fishing, you use a hook to fish, but in songwriting, you're fishing for a hook.
The same is true of a YouTube channel or YouTube video. What made you decide to have cash as a prize rather than something like gold, which has the potential to become more valuable over time?
I didn't. For one, cash is king, and number 2, I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't. I wish I would have.
Yeah, considering how gold has increased over the past.
I'm not a future teller. I'm not Zoltar or anything,
Yeah.
So
I knew it was going to go up. I didn't feel like it was going to go up as high as it has.
Yeah.
And as long as we're having problems in the Middle East, it's going to continue to grow up. David asks, Chris, what is your favorite treasure hunt, past or present, except fens? So you can't say fens.
Yeah, so I've studied Posey and John Collins's hunts, and I like them both in different ways. I feel like to be honest with you, I feel like I've figured out Justin Posey's to either 2 different search areas, but the only reason I haven't tried to find a partner or anything on that, because I promised my wife that would be our hunt. But on the John Collins Black, I really enjoy it too, and I started working on it, and then I kind of stopped for a while, but then I ended up getting a partner. So I do have a partner on the John Collins Black hunt, and we have went and looked in 2 different spots for 2 different boxes, and we're focused on one of the boxes now. I've kind of figured out some stuff with that, but each I really like, and I really like I really like watching, I guess, the Q&As or whatever with Justin and John Collins. But the Justin's, if I lived out there, I would be probably on it more than John Collins, because I think that me and Justin think so much alike. And actually, and why we're talking about this, and I know we're not to the next step yet, but while we're talking about both their hunts, I would like to formally invite them to the Hope Chest Hoedown, even though I know that, they're probably afraid to come because they'd be bombarded with other, and stuff. But I'd like to invite them and tell them, hey, let's not bombard them. Let them come as treasure hunters, because that's what they are, not only designers, and let them enjoy the community and treasure hunting along with us. So there's your invitation to Justin and John and his wife and whoever you all want to bring. So
I'll make sure they're aware of it. So here's one. Cris, is the starting place for each tag's location on the map?
I've been asked that many a times, and I won't ever answer that question.
That's fair.
So
let me see. Thoughts. Are the searchers' questions and answers made public?
I was doing that, and me being lazy, I have my cat passed away. I see that question. My cat passed away a long time ago, months ago. She had cancer. She had a big tumor on her face that we removed, and then it grew back within a month, and we had to put her down. But I did have a treasure hunter reach out to me just the other day and send me 2 little cute kitty cats.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And they don't live far from me, and one of them is part of the little. It was a little girl. They send me their treasure hunt adventures when they go look at.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it to death. And so her mother is one of the 4 people that are on the committee, or whatever you want to call it, for the Hope Chest Hoedown, that is helping with everything. But she sent me this awesome 2 pictures of the kitty cat, and I asked my wife, I said, are you ready to get another cat? And she said, no, not yet, because we have 2 dogs, and it's just hard, especially after you've lost a couple of cats and stuff. But that's your answer. But what was the question before? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off.
No, that's okay. David asks, can you tell us more about marble hunting? You touched upon it in another interview, and it sounds like something treasure hunters would like, but on a smaller scale.
Yeah, that I was going to talk about that once we get into what's inside the box.
Okay.
So I'll talk about that here in just a second.
Okay, Doc.
What was the question right before that, though?
The cat question.
Before the cat, I was talking about something. I don't want to short the person.
Well, that was my fault. I thought I had.
Are all the searcher questions and answers made public?
Right.
So that was the question. So every question that was asked, because a $3 question that people ask, I was getting some repetitive questions and stuff. So I quit posting some of them, and then I got busy. So I have gone back through sometimes and posted. So I think I've done a pretty good job at posting people's questions of what they ask. But there might be a couple out there, but they're not gonna, if I felt that they were super good questions or whatever, I probably posted them. So it's I didn't leave out too much if I didn't post it. So I'll try to do better.
Well, you've got a lot on your hands right now. Have you thought about a Hope Chest 2 if this one continues to go well?
Oh, man. I don't know if my wife would allow that. That kind of like, if you could ask Peggy that question, if you could have ever asked Peggy that question for Forrest, what would her answer be?
You know
So,
what? I'll tell you what. I never heard Forrest. I never heard anyone ask Forrest that question.
yeah,
And I think the reason is that they knew the equivalent of what the answer,
yeah.
might be.
I think I did ask, or I think I did hear somebody ask him one time somewhere in some interview, like, what are Peggy's thoughts on this?
Right. Yeah.
And he basically said she stays out of it,
Yeah.
or something like that.
As did most of the family. They only got involved when they were
Yeah.
forced to, basically. All right, let's go on to the Hope Chest Hoedown event. What is the Hope Chest Hoedown?
The Hope Chest Hoedown was created by a few people. Well, I'd been asked the question several times, and I'd actually had a couple little get-togethers, but I didn't really make a big deal out of it.
Mhm.
And it was just more of the, I guess, more hardcore searchers that
Mhm.
kind of got together, and they even came to my house. So I don't know what you just did, but I started echoing.
I opened up. That's interesting. So I opened up the window.
So there's the flyer.
I was going to open that. Hang on just a second.
Sure.
Let me do something real quick. I know what I did to create that problem. Give me 1 second. Can I go ahead and continue answering the question about the Hope Chest Hoedown?
Sure. So the Hope Chest Hoedown was created by some people that thought that they should have an event to get everybody together, since the Hope Chest has grown, and not just because the Hope Chest has grown. That we think that the community at this point is a really good community of people that like to come together, and I've known people for like 10 years that I've talked to just like you, and I've never shook your hand. So I wanted to be able to do that too, and they wanted to have, Justin and John had a Q&A, and they wanted to have a Q&A with me too. So when it was first mentioned to me, I said, if we have an event, I want to do it and do it right. I don't want to have it at my house. I want to have it at a public place, but I want to have it somewhere close to where I live. And I want people to be able to camp out. I want it to be free to everybody, because I want people, if they come, they don't feel like they have to spend money at the event, like it's a money trap. Once they get there, you're paying for admission, you're paying for food, you're paying to get in a treasure hunt, or you have to buy a book or whatever have it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to feel like that. I just wanted people to come and be happy to meet each other and be happy to be there and party and have a good time and share stories. And I didn't want people to just come and leave either. Right. I didn't want it to be just a couple hour event, and I didn't want it to be controlled by like a real strict schedule or anything like that. So that's how it came together. And then I basically told, I said, hey, can you all, there was certain people that wanted to help. And I said, hey, can you just kind of get together and I'll help, kind of jump it off. I like doing all the creative stuff. So I'll make the flyer. I'll figure out, we'll have a treasure hunt that day. We'll have a cookout. We'll have the Q&A. We'll have some cornhole. I'll figure out like whether or not we're going to have a band. So we decided to have it at the VFW in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, which I live in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. And I do a lot of stuff with the VFW, the Memorial VFW, which if you don't know what a VFW is, it's Veteran Foreign Wars.
Veterans and Foreign Wars.
Yeah. So it's a place where veterans can go and hang out and stuff. And they have like a hall. They have like a bar or whatever too, and a hall and a pavilion out back and stuff. And they've actually did a bunch of remodeling just recently. Brand new blacktop, and it's a nice little place. but it's not like all fancy or anything. So everybody can feel, at home. So I had done a lot of stuff with them, and me being with the Scottish Rite, they let me have events there like cornhole tournaments or auctions or bike rallies and all this stuff, and it would benefit the learning disability kids of the Bullitt County Schools, the student recognition program. Yeah. So I've got a really good relationship with the commander and the quartermaster and stuff. So I went to them and I said, "Hey, can we use this facility?" And they said, "Oh, we'd love to." So so we structured I said, "I want to do a cookout, but like I said, I don't want
hang on just a second. The only reason I'm asking you to stop is because you just jumped forward about 5 questions, and I want to make sure I get all this stuff.
Go ahead, ask questions. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, so you usually just covered a whole bunch of territory right there. What should people understand about the free admission?
All you have to do is come at 2:00. The first thing we're going to do is have all the food is covered, and we're going to have some sodas. There'll be burgers, brats, and hamburgers. A guy by the name of Jason Bailey is going to cook, and I'm sure he'll have some people helping him and stuff. He's one of the treasure hunters. And I want everybody just kind of, come in, get you something to eat, kind of settle in. And then once I kind of feel like everybody's got their stomachs full and they're ready to sit down and listen, probably around 3:00 or 3:30, we'll start the Q&A. And then that's it. And then also after the Q&A.
I'm sorry to interrupt. How will the Q&A work?
The Q&A, I just have a stage, I have a hay wagon. If it's raining that day, we'll move it inside. There's a stage, a large room inside with tables and chairs and stuff. But I have this big hay wagon, and I'm going to set up a sound system. And when I'm not talking, I'll have some music playing, just so everybody has some music to listen to. And then basically I'll sit down, and the Q&A right now, I need people to go to Mysterious Writings, because usually you pay $3 for a question, right? So this is your chance, your prime opportunity to go to Mysterious Writings and go to the Hope Chest Hoedown event and go on there and post your question.
All right. That was the next question. How do people submit their questions?
Okay. So there's 2 ways. And well, there's one way right now. But so even if you're not coming to the event, you can still ask a question on there, and there's a chance that I'm going to answer it. And if I don't get a bunch of questions on Mysterious Writings beforehand, and I go through them and I decide to pick them or whatever, and I'm just going to go through them and pick what's logical, I guess you could say. And then the day of, if I don't feel like I have enough questions by that day, I may have one of the helpers go around and pass out pieces of paper, and you can write a question on it, and then we might put it in a jar, and then I might just reach in the jar and
pull out the question.
And I might be like David Letterman, if I don't like the question, I might just throw it over my shoulder or something, so.
So you mentioned that you had people helping you. Tell us about the organizers and what roles they're playing in the event.
So it's Ray Laddie, Tina Lynn, Kathy Hayes, and Mary Allen. Mary Allen's local. That's her daughter that has the kitty cats. And then Tina Lynn is about an hour and a half away, I believe, and in Kentucky. And then Ray Laddie's in North Carolina, I believe, not too far from the Outer Banks. And I always forget where Kathy lives, but she's in South Carolina. And so they're all kind of spread out, and but they're basically they're the ones that are actually covering all the food. they've donated all the money for the food, and they're going to be getting it. All the I guess chips, sodas, or condiments and buns and meat and all that. So
And they are all searching for the Hope Chest.
Yeah.
Treasure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What
And
should folks know about the overnight options?
So the overnight option, there's a grass area where some of the area I'm going to have cornhole boxes set up for people. There's not going to be a formal tournament or anything. You'll just be able to play, while you're hanging out and stuff. But there's a grass area that you can set up primitive camping. And then also I'll have 2 fire pits set up, like the freestanding ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just have, because I want to set them up in kind of 2 different places so that people can get around them and later on at night and sit there and maybe have a few drinks or just chill or whatever and talk about, because the setting of the VFW, it's out on the edge of town. So once it turns dark, it feels like you're out in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, and part of the VFW property has woods also. So
Mm-hmm.
it's right up against the woods and stuff. So it feels like you're camping and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you can primitively camp. I'd say there's probably enough room for, like, I don't know, maybe 30 tents out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a whole big side parking lot where you can park your RV. Now, there isn't RV hookups out there or anything, but you can park your RV, your van, your vehicle, whatever you want to stay in. And then actually, the last time I was out there, I just realized that literally across the street, you can drive out of the parking lot straight across Highway 44, and someone has created an RV park over there with hookups and stuff.
Oh.
But I have not got that information yet. And if I do get that information, I'll put it on Mysterious Writings for people. I might even put a picture of, like, if they have a sign or a phone number, and put that on there for
people can reach out.
Yeah, and then there's local hotels too. I mean, you're not but a couple miles right off of I-65.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the weather like at the end of August there?
It should be nice and sunny during the day, about like what the weather is right now, probably in the high 70s or mid 80s. And then in the evening, it should come down to where it's like good, camping, I'd say 50s or 60s at night,
Mm-hmm. Is Shepherdstown in the Kentucky Hills?
Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
I'm sorry.
No, it's funny you ask that. So there are some knobs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if you go past, as soon as you go past the VFW, you're going to start going into hill territory.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, there's a place called Knob. It's like, really, you can look it up online. It's really, really known for its artillery shooting, I guess you could call it, or whatever. But it's called Knob Creek Gun Range. And you can go online. They have videos of, them blowing up crazy stuff out there. And there's actually been, they've actually had to stop shooting because Fort Knox actually does some of their training out in that area. So Fort Knox will come by with helicopters and fly low and stuff in that area. And so it's kind of a well-known gun range.
How's the bourbon production situation in the area?
Bullitt County is one of the largest, I'd say, bourbon producing areas in the world. So in Louisville, well, right across the line, which is Jefferson County, which is Louisville, Kentucky, actually you can go downtown and you can take bourbon tours and stuff. But there's a thing called the Bourbon Trail, and it runs through Bullitt County, and there's several distilleries. You can look up the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, and whenever, a lot of people, I don't know how many people are going to be staying all night, and
Mm-hmm.
and Ray has something I can talk about that in a minute or whatever, but I imagine that some people have told me that they're going to come a day early and then stay on Sunday. And if they do, they could very easily take a couple hour tour, 2 or 3, or a half day. You can spend a half day going to different bourbon places, in the area, and they're not that far away, So,
let me see if I fix that.
We don't have no echoing now.
Yeah, good. So here is the poster for the event. What do you hope the Hoedown does for the treasure hunting community?
I hope that it isn't just a boring event. I hope it shows that people can get together and share their ideas, meet new people, and have a good time. I want people to have a good time. I don't want a bunch of bumping the logs. I want people to feel like they're at home when they meet people. It's like the family that they love, not a reunion where you're dreading. You're a kid and your mom's dragging you across the carpet to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want everybody to feel comfortable and let loose and just have a really good time.
All right. Before we go on to the last section, I've got some questions in the room. Let me see if I can go back for them. Let's see. This is from David. It says, Julie was a co-author for your book, but now that several years have passed, what does she think about the book and the hunt now? Has her opinion about it changed at all over time?
Do you have one of those things to beep me out while I'm talking?
Pardon me?
Do you have one of those things to beep while I'm talking?
No. This is an adult channel, so.
No, I'm just teasing with you. No, that's Julie's feelings.
Oh, okay, all right.
No, just kidding. No, she's just not a big treasure hunter until we actually get there, But I tell you, she absolutely loves getting the emails, and she's a very, she reads some of the things and starts crying and stuff, and that side of it she really loves. And she just don't. The only thing that she don't like is that it consumes a lot of my time. Not just the Hope Chest, but me studying other treasure hunts, just the whole treasure hunting thing. And it takes, and I'm guilty of being bad time management sometimes, and when I should be spending, more time with her, I guess. So that's how that, but she likes all the feedback and stuff that we get and stuff,
I do have a censor button. Let me see. I've never used it.
Yeah.
I could beep you out if you knew it was coming. All right. Let's go on to the last section, the Hope Chest Hoedown event. We'll take this off the stream, and then we'll go over the pictures in just a bit. What is the Hope Chest Hoedown? Oh, no. That's the event. I'm sorry. We're going to go to the one-day treasure hunt at the event. How would you describe the one-day treasure hunt?
It's going to be, you remember, I can't never remember that show, but I need to look it up because it reminds me of an old movie. But it also reminds me of you remember Cannonball Run and all those movies with Burt Reynolds and Don DeLuise and all those characters, some people might not, but remember when they would be the race is on, and everybody's all scattering and hopping in their cars and stuff. Well, you're not going to be hopping in your car because you're not going to be going anywhere. But basically, I'm going to, it's going to be, the theme of it's going to be a vintage military style hunt. And what's going to happen is I'm going to tell everybody to line up that wants to be in the hunt. And I've made these legal size orders. It looks like it kind of looks like the Hoedown box that I've created, and then it's going to have these military. It It's going to look like military typed out orders. And then it's going to be rolled up and put in this 1 foot cardboard tube. And I'm going to hand those out. We're going to have a countdown. And as soon as we have that countdown, you can open up that tube and pull it out and start trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's going to be people that just take off and think they know where it's at or whatever have it. But I advise everybody to stop, study, and then think about it.
You know what? I just, one of the shorts that I produced for this coming week, One a Day, actually just talks about what you should do when that moment comes. So did you tell me that the hunt was going to start off with a shot from a Kentucky musket rifle?
No, I didn't. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Hey, don't give me too many ideas. They got a cannon out front,
Okay. So what inspired, did I ask this question already? What inspired you to create a separate event hunt?
I wanted to give people an incentive to come. And also I wanted to give people other influencers like you and other treasure hunters that maybe don't have the time to create a hunt, or they feel like they want to give their little part or whatever, because everybody's going to be from all over the United States. So just like Kentucky is known for bourbon and stuff, maybe people can, say, hey, Chris, I'm from, South Dakota, or I'm from New York or wherever, and I'd like to donate this and put in the treasure box, or give you all the opportunity, just like your little coin that you got for your, you know what I'm saying? Like, to put something that represents you all or what you like in treasure hunting. And so I've asked people to donate and put stuff like that in there. And then also, we've all hunted different treasure hunts and haven't found shit for years. And everybody knows how you can get down. And, so I thought, man, this would be an awesome opportunity to let somebody come and have a chance that they know that they're going to find, they have a chance to find something that day. And so then I even went further to bring the community together even more, hopefully. So I created a skeleton key. Okay. I designed it myself, and I thought, I'm going to take that skeleton key and I'm going to break it in half. I'm not breaking it in half, but I designed it to be in 2 different halves. So I'm going to hide the 2 different halves. Well, you have to have both halves to get the treasure box. So that means if one team or one person finds one half and a couple other people find the other half, they're going to either have to barter with each other like real treasure hunters do. Or they're going to have to come together and claim it all together and then split it up. So that's another thing that I did to bring the community together.
And what can you tell us about the prize? About the treasure? So
I don't even know how I came up with this idea, but so I when I started thinking about a treasure box, I was like, well, we're having it at the VFW, so I'd like it to be kind of vintage military, kind of cover just that kind of vintage feel, whether it's World War II, Korean War, or Vietnam, whatever, or modern, or I kind of wanted to give a mix. And then I got thinking, well, the 250th anniversary is coming up for the United States of America and stuff. So I thought I would kind of sprinkle a little bit of that in there. And then I got thinking about what kind of box can I use, and I actually had a box already.
And we're going to be showing some pictures of these things in just a minute, folks.
Yeah. So I had a box already that I was going to use, and then I thought, you know what? I think it would be cool if I used some kind of military like box, like a foot locker or something. So I got looking at that, and then And then I got thinking, man, because I made the flyer, and I thought, I wonder if I could make something if I took a Foot Locker, and I wonder if I could kind of wrap it in a way and make a design that promoted the Hope Chest. So when the person found it, that when they took that home, they would be like, they had their friends over, would be like, hey, check that out.
Mhm.
That's what I got at the Hope. I was one that won the Hope Chest Hoedown. And then if we have one every year, I could design a different box every year or whatever.
Right.
But so I just started designing this thing. I actually bought the box first, and then I started designing it, and then it just went from there. And I actually got with a guy that makes wraps, and I had him. We took it over there, measured it. I wrapped it all myself after I got the design done. And when it got done, I was like, man, that's awesome. That's badass. I really like it. So then I thought, but golly, that's a lot of space in there. You could literally fit like a midget in there or something, So I was like, I can put some stuff, but I'm gonna have to start like maybe asking people to donate, or I really want to fill it up with a big random variety.
Well, we'll definitely send you some stuff. What should participants do before the hunt begins?
Eat and get a drink.
All right. What should
have a good time.
What should participants know about eligibility?
That there's no, it doesn't matter. There
No
is
requirements.
Yeah, there's
teenager or adults.
Yeah, as long as you're not threatening to other people.
Okay.
You seem like a good person. It's free. It's kids, adults. It's yeah.
What should participants know about teams?
There are no. You can have whatever kind of team you want.
What should participants know about tools?
You don't need any tools except for the ones in your head.
Okay.
To keep your gears turning.
What safety guidance do you want participants to follow?
There is woods. The ticks are bad this year. And I think I'm going to tell people that there are going to be limitations on going to the woods, because there is a creek in there and stuff, and there's poison ivy. Use common sense. Just like if you're a hunter for an Appalachian trail box or Forest Fin or a Justin Posey, then you should already know these things.
No bear spray required. Is that correct?
Yeah, and if there's some things that maybe you can climb on and stuff, and if you're one of the people climbing, I'm not responsible.
Okay. Are you going to establish boundaries?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, yes, it's going to be on the property of the VFW.
What happens if the treasure is not found quickly?
I think I don't know, if it's not found in a couple hours, I may start giving some hints.
Okay. What happens when someone finds the treasure?
So, they're going to find the parts of the key.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to find parts of the key. So when you find the part of the key, of course you're going to come up on the stage or come to me and give me that part, and I'll or you can hold on to it, whatever you want, if you don't want to announce that that you found that part. But I would say that people will know that you found that part if you find it, and then hurry up and start looking for the other part. That's it. That's the thing I can tell you. And once the two parts are brought to the stage, then I will present. I'll announce it on a microphone, and I'll get everybody together, and then I'll present the treasure in front of everybody to the people or the person who found it.
Okay. Last question, but then I've got a couple from the room. What does the donated prize list say about the community?
I've been really surprised. I'm really happy with the feedback that I've gotten and the donations that I've gotten. I'd like to see more. Don't get me wrong, but by more, especially by more influencers. But I guess there's been a lot more influencers for Justin's, and that's covered Justin's and John Collins. So with mine not being as big of a treasure hunt or whatever, I guess, and but I would like. I don't care if people have covered me or not. I would like for him to look at the Hope Chest Hoedown as more of a community thing where the whole community can come together, especially with it being in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, because Shepherdsville is right below Louisville, Kentucky, and it's in the center of the United States, pretty much. So it's like a good place that everybody can, that's why there's more railroad tracks and stuff in Kentucky and in Indiana than, other places, because they all cross, from going everywhere. So I want to see everybody, it become like a meeting spot every year for people to get together and and have a good time. Yeah.
So we will send you some books. We'll send you a copy of A Gypsy's Kiss and The Tao of Treasure Hunting, and we'll send you more than one coin. But I have some artifacts that I purchased at auction. It wasn't the heritage auction of the treasure, but Forrest's family had a couple of auctions to auction off his artifacts, his Native American artifacts. And I bought a couple of lots, and I'll send you a couple. There's pottery shards and metal.
Awesome.
I'll send you a couple of pieces from that collection.
That's all. Now you're going to make me be I've joked about whoever wins, the first thing that they're going to do is I'm going to take them inside the building away from everybody and start bartering with them.
Yeah. All right, I do have a couple of questions from the room. Let me just make sure I got to go back to them. 3D Bronze says, 3D, somebody, maybe I asked this question. Is it possible to skip all the other tags, boots on the ground, and go straight to the end and find the treasure?
No, sir.
Okay. I guess I asked that question earlier. It was
you did, but it's nearly impossible. I mean, you just until you get the poem, you don't really know where you're going.
Right.
So
Todd asks, so two different people / team could win the one chest?
Yes.
Because of the keys? Is it possible?
Yeah. And I think I sent you a picture of the key.
All right. Yeah. We're going to go through the pictures here in just a second.
Sure. Yeah.
So
I can't remember if I sent you a picture of the key though, but
I believe you did. I remember kind of seeing it, but we'll go through it. Okay. So last but not least, I'd like to quickly go through the pictures, and so the hard part is the only way I can get through these is by doing this.
If you want to bring them up, I can tell you.
Well, the problem is if I close this window and bring them up, it's going to open in another window.
No, that ain't what I mean. I mean, if you just want to bring them up singly, I can talk about them.
Okay. All right. Let me start here, and then we can go straight across.
Actually, can you start at the map?
Yeah.
Because I'll so that's the map, and I may have some maps there and give. That's another thing I want to say too. If you come to the Hope Chest Hunt and you want to purchase a book for that day, I'm going to sell the books for $50. They're usually $90.
$90, yeah.
And I'll sell the maps that day for $10.
Great! Wow.
And
it's a beautiful map. It's one of those, frame it and hang it on a wall map. I guess because it's another benchmark map.
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted you to bring the map up is So see where the scale is down here below the HC.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. So I for when this book originally came out, I had a book release party. Okay, and as like gift bags, anybody that was I put like a gift package together for everybody that was part of the Hope Chest making of the book. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I gave away to people was a Hope Chest blanket and like a fleece throw. And those people since then, each one of them individually, like at different times, just random times, have sent me pictures of them on their couch or in bed or whatever with that throw on them. You know, well, I don't mean like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I understand. That's really be bold, sweetheart.
So, right where you have it at, right below that scale thing, I had a blanket made in it, and for this event, because everybody loved that blanket so much. So hold on here, and I want to show you real quick. So this is, I don't know how good you can see this. So this is.
I'm gonna hide this just so you can.
Sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's a, you know, so let's see here, which way are we going? So
you're fine. You got it.
So it gets cut off though. It's not the full map.
Right.
So it got cut off.
It's got all the main stuff on it.
But this is you can see it's this big. So, and it's soft. It's really soft too.
Yeah.
But I didn't just have like a small throw made. That's a 60 by 80.
Yeah.
So it's a big throw, and I think whoever like I think that somebody will really like it. You know, I have two of them, and we use them all the time. And it came out printed really nicely too.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
So that's why I wanted to bring up the map. So.
All right. So there's that. I will post this image on AGK's page, so that if you want to download it and have the information, you're welcome to pull it down from there, and you'll have everything you need to know.
And also, hold this for a second, I just want to kind of go through it. So we've got the cookout, the Q&A, the treasure hunt, and then later on that night, we're going to have karaoke. So I expect everybody to put a song in on karaoke.
Oh, where it says live music?
Yeah, we were going to have a band, but then we found out that that I talked to the commander, and we decided to have karaoke that night. So that way everybody could kind of participate, because I had gotten some feedback on having bands, and some people don't like to participate or dance or whatever. So so yeah, we decided to have karaoke, and that'll run kind of into the night. And if you don't want to do karaoke all night long, like I said, you can hang out by a campfire after and stuff. And then also down here it says contact Ray Laddie for any info or updates on mysterious writings. So you can send the questions to him, or if you have any questions, you can go on Mysterious Writings and always ask him. And then you can follow us on Facebook. And then also, if you don't have a book yet, or you need to order a map or a book, and I still have some prints left. I had some requests to have some prints made of different paintings or pictures in the book.
Yeah.
And I've got some of those. I don't have any T-shirts left. And then another thing at the very, very bottom where it says camping and RV parking available. We went over that. And at the very, very bottom, I don't know if you can go all the way to the very, very bottom.
That's as far as I can go on the image.
Your little thing covers it up. But anyway, they do have, there's a full, like I said, we'll only have so many drinks. And then after that, there we go. It says drinks, food, and games available at venue. So they have a bar. So it's a cash bar, liquor, beer bar or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they also have a bunch of, I guess you call them slot machines or whatever too. So if people are into gaming stuff, they have that kind of stuff there too.
Okay.
So that's about it. That's all that has to do with the hoedown.
All right. These are just
So this is from Jenny Kyle. This is what she said she's going to be sending me. It's a numbered book from Forrest Finn's collection of San Lazaro Pueblo.
Yeah.
And so she's sending me that book, and then she's also sending me these artifacts that she said that she actually, and there's a handwritten, I think she might be keeping this note or getting me a copy of it or something, she said, but you can read the note, and she actually went out with Forrest Finn and hand dug this stuff up and at San Lazaro Pueblo, and she's donating it to the chest.
I'll get you some more shards like this, including I have one shard that is actually in an image in this Secrets of San Lazaro book. I think. I'll probably keep that one. Okay. Well, what do we got here?
So that's a fishing pole. This thing extends out, I think, to 55 inches. It looks like a minnow or whatever, a lure, but when you open it up, it extends out. And then this is a reel. It's still in the package. That's why it's all wrapped up.
Right here.
Yeah. But it's just called like a pocket fishing reel. And if you've never done this, if you've always been, out looking for treasure, and then you come across this really nice creek where you think there might be some trout or just some little fish, and you want to take a break, and this super light, you can put in a little bitty day pack or whatever, and you can whip it out, and then you don't have pictures of this, which I'll show, but and along with that, I'm going to take this box right here, and which is just this little wooden box. Go this way, and I'm going to put. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to put a few of my flies that I've handmade. I started hand tied. So Forrest Finn, and I'm a big fly fisherman. I don't go as much as I used to, but Forrest inspired me to start making my own flies, and they do work. I actually just had a friend of mine from Knoxville that I'd given some to him for his birthday, and he sent me pictures, and he said he sent me a picture of a certain fly. He said, "Man, I use this Dotson lure today and burn them up on the river." Mm-hmm. So they actually do work, and I'm going to put those in there, and you can use those along with that little bitty. You don't have to have a fly pole, but you can kind of use the same action and stuff.
We never went any place looking for Forrest Finn treasures in all 4 states that didn't have a fly fishing bent to it, and I got to fish in every one of the 4 treasure states with that. Okay, got a knife here.
Yeah, so I thought that this might be it's a nice size knife.
Damascus blade, 7-inch Damascus.
Yeah, you can get kind of a better idea of how big it is by my hand, holding it here. So, and it's pretty lightweight, but it's handmade.
Mm-hmm.
It's handmade. So that's but it's a nice knife. Just something to have in your backpack, or if you need to. Even if you need to dig something out of the ground, maybe, or something, or
and maintain, because for any of you that know Damascus blades, if you don't season it and care for it, it'll rust on you.
Yes,
but that's why they keep such a. Oh wow! Well,
so
my old Boy Scout compass.
Yeah, so I wanted to, since we were going vintage, I wanted to put some vintage stuff in there, and everything's so high tech these days, and so complicated. So I kind of like me and several of the other treasure hunters wish that everything was as simple again, right? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to go back to some simplicity, and this is in the original box and everything. And I wanted to throw some old school stuff in. So we could teach the younger generation of how the original treasure hunters, did it. So
that's the wrap on the box.
yeah.
Nice.
And if you'll notice, I changed the original picture on the flyer came from the inside of the book, which was drawn, so make sure everybody's listening so they get this. That the character drawing was drawn by, and he's there still, as far as I know, a cartoon artist on the strip in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
I have to ask the question, of course, because I'm sure the audience will eventually. I need to get back to the chat, actually. Are there any hints or clues in that image?
In what image?
This image right here that's on the screen.
I'm not good. I can't answer those.
Okay.
Could be. You never know.
That's one of the sides.
Yeah.
And for those of you that not only are celebrating the 250, the semi-quincentennial, 250 years. It's also the 250th anniversary of the founding of the Army and the Navy, not the Marines. And the Marines were founded later. Of course, the Air Force wasn't founded until the 1940s. It was actually at one point it was the Army Air Corps, and then it became the Air Force. But the Navy and the Army were also founded 250 years ago. We're celebrating that as well. As a matter of fact, my flag is not going to be an American flag. It's going to be a U.S. Army 250th anniversary flag.
There you go. You're not gonna fly a George Washington pine tree flag.
No, I had choices. I had about 10 choices that I was considering.
Yeah.
But I thought, my having spent my career, not my career, but my time in the Army, I felt like that's the one I can fly and feel good about. Not that I feel bad about any.
Yeah, I hear you. No, I hear you.
Operation Twisted Danger.
Yeah, buddy. That's the name. That's the name of the treasure hunt.
Have I seen this on the nose of a bomber? Where did that come from?
It just came from different images I was searching.
All right.
I tried to give a variety of. As a matter of fact, I was designing this. Well, let me go back to the cartoon part. So, originally in the book, the cartoon, if you look at the flyer, the cartoon, Julie never did like that cartoon drawing that guy did of her. Yeah. So when I made this box, I took a picture of her when we first got engaged, and she just so happened to have this tan jacket with the white scarf, and I made her into a cartoon character and put her up against me, and it worked out perfect.
No, it looks great.
Oh yeah, she was a lot happier. So that's why if you look at the flyer and you look at this and compare it, it's totally different. She's a lot more cartoony on the flyer, but that originally came from the book. So, but
great smile.
But and then I was designing this, and I was like, man, there's something missing, and I ended up putting the eagle in there because I was like, so yeah, it was a process. To me, it's beautiful. It looks a lot better in real life too.
Oh, you know what else I have? I've got some. Hold on, just
clean your house out, Toby. Just give me a send a U-Haul. Hey, actually, I see a comment from Karen. Be thinking of what you might want me to sing. I'm looking forward to singing that night with everybody.
So I still have some more of these 250. Let's see what that size. 250th anniversary and
awesome
coins.
I was actually getting ready to buy some like that to put in the box, but I hadn't. So that would be an awesome addition.
I'll send you some of these. I've got about 5 or 6 left. I'll send you half of them.
Awesome.
Okay.
You're making my day, man.
I should probably look through my closet and see what I've got. It looks like my old Foot Locker in the military.
And actually, it only has two of the latches are broke on it.
Yeah.
But this latch and the opposite one, in the back right is or in the front right.
The
or
only
whatever.
thing I remember that in basic training, you had to get everything you owned in life in that box, and it had to be organized a certain way.
Oh, so another little thing. I'm actually going to line it so it's nice and clean.
So wait a minute.
Go ahead.
How does this play into the hoedown? Why are we looking at this box?
It's going to get filled with a bunch of stuff.
Oh, is this?
This is the treasure box.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know how big those things are.
No, they're huge.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying,
is this going to be what's hidden, or are you going to have a proxy item? Oh, the proxy item or the keys. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get to the keys.
Yeah, so that's why I'm telling you, I have a lot of stuff that's going in this, and then this is I haven't done it yet, but I'll give you a little sneak peek. This right here is the material that I'm putting in it.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So that's going to be the material.
Wait. Let me get you up there. Okay, do that again.
Oh, you're okay. Yeah. So.
All right.
That's going to be the lining of the whole box.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't done that, obviously, but
I know.
All right,
marbles.
so,
why am I looking at marbles?
Because I've lost them, and we're looking. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm going to answer the question that was asked earlier. Okay. So I've been how do I say it? Schooled. I've learned many things over my treasure hunting years, and this is one of the neat things that I've learned. And I've had a couple of my friends like Beth Hovanak and Jason Geschwin and a few other people have told me about it. And I never really did it until recently, just because Jason had reached out to me and said, "Hey, isn't this by your house?" It was a rest stop that was by my house, and you're supposed to follow rules and stuff when you join. But so I never can get the name right and stuff, but it's called the world's largest marble hunt, I believe, .com or whatever. And it's a community that you can join, or a website. And once you join it and they accept you, you are supposed to follow all these rules that I guess outside of the community, you're not really supposed to share things and stuff, but they post things on different Facebook pages, and they'll say, "Hey, I was walking and I lost my marble." And they'll post like a picture where they were walking, or maybe like a little certain tree or a landmark or something. And these people will hide marbles. They're not just regular marbles. Usually they're artisan marbles. And when I say artisan marbles, they're usually a 1 inch or a little bit bigger marble. Sometimes they're small half-inch marbles also, because you have a small marble and then a half-inch marble or 3/4 or whatever. They're all just they vary in sizes. So you got the small marbles up top and the bigger marbles at the bottom that are called shooters, right? So a lot of times artists, different glass artists hand make the larger marbles, and they're worth anywhere from like $20 to maybe $1,000. I don't know what the highest. So what they do is they hide. It's supposed to be kind of like a take and give back kind of thing. And so what you do is people collect the artisan marbles, and then they'll hide a marble. They'll come up, and this way, you're not deeply invested in creating a hunt. But what you are, like I talked about, us going through these spans where we don't find anything, and we get down and we forget how smart we are or how good we are at actually finding something. So you can go on here. You can find out if there's a marble somewhere hidden close to you. You can go out and maybe find. Chances are you'll probably, if you're a treasure hunter on one of these treasure hunts, you'll probably find that marble, especially if you know the area. And they're hard to find too sometimes. They wrap them up in plastic and then they put this little card in there and then they'll duct tape it with like black or camouflage duct tape and they'll hide it in trees and like all sorts of little wedged in.
I'm just surprised I've never heard of anything like this.
Oh, really? You haven't?
Never.
Yeah, and this is why I'm talking about it because it's really neat. So the shelf that you're looking at, I actually had it custom made so it would be able to fit in the treasure box. And then I filled it. The marbles actually come with this shelf. And then a little piece of plexiglass slides in a slot in the front. And it's made to hang on your wall and display your marbles, right? And so another thing, like I was talking about, though, so you go out, you find maybe there's a marble hidden close to you. Or if you're traveling, say, and you have like some free time, a half a day or a quarter of a day, and you're like, and you get on Facebook or the World Marble thing, and you find out that like where you're at, there's one hidden. And so it might be a little bit harder for you because you don't know that area. So you go looking for it, maybe you find it, and then maybe while you're traveling, you have one, that you want to hide somewhere and that you want to post. Well, you can create a little treasure hunt for somebody without being, big time invested in it. And then you have that anxiety and that feeling of waiting for that response, for someone to find it, because some of these people hide marbles and they're not found for years. So it's a good feeling either way. And it kind of opens another little world for people to do something else and to kind of fill that void when you're not finding something, to lift you up again. And then also, it's a good conversation piece. When this is hanging on your wall and you have friends over or something, people are going to obviously they're going to look at it. It's an attractive little piece and be like, oh, well, what are these from? Or what are these for?
Okay, we're going to have to do some a separate live stream on marbles, I guess.
Sure. So there you go. So that's one of the reasons why, like I said, I wanted to put different random things in the box to open people's eyes to different.
What do we got here?
That is an original painting or a pen and ink
sketch
by me.
Oh,
and it is in the book. So
and that's going in the chest. So all these things are going in the chest.
Yes, every bit. So that is the Hope Chest key, skeleton key that I designed, and right at the notch, or right at kind of like where it comes down, the shaft comes down, and the notch. So this bottom part of the key pulls out of the key. Oh. So you have two different pieces, right?
Well, let's show it separated.
Yeah. So here it is. Yeah, that's it. That's it in live. So right there.
Okay.
Let me flip it around. It's up there.
How does it come apart?
This one don't come apart.
Oh, okay.
Right. I only had a couple made that come apart.
Okay.
Hold on. Actually, I have the original that was. Give me a second.
So this is what we're looking for.
Yeah. So here's one of these. Oh, here it is. So this is the original. So this comes apart like that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So when they find these two separate pieces, they'll have to come up on stage and we'll have to put this thing back together. And then they're going to give me the two pieces, and I'm going to keep this forever. And then I have several others made.
What you're giving away. So Can one person or one team find both pieces?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, if they're fast and smart enough.
and if there's two teams, each one finds a piece, they have to split the treasure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting because I have a feeling that two different teams or people will find it, and that they'll just have to. So that's a
Megalodon tooth.
Yeah, that's a megalodon tooth donated by Ray Laddie.
Is he from South Carolina, did you say?
North Carolina.
Oh, because you find those all over South Carolina.
Well, I think he found it in North Carolina or South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. There, in the big ones are at the shore, or the islands, and they wash away. But you can also find them in the local streams, in the streams that, you know.
Yeah, that one is huge. It's like the size of my hand.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's big. I thought I had it laying here somewhere.
Metal detector.
Metal detector, yeah. So that's a Hazel Walkie GT 690, brand new, and I forget the value of it, but it's a nice metal detector. And so then we got Pokemon cards unopened in a variety of packs, and I found all those in the wild. So they're not from some shop, that might have filtered through them or something.
Yeah.
I found them in. I have my kind of little random places that I ask if they've got Pokemon cards, and they usually have them hidden behind the counter somewhere, and they're holding them for their cousin or nephew or something usually. But
get them there.
So there's some vintage treasure hunting books. You got Kit Williams there. That's kind of a hard book to kind of find. You got Indiana Jones, different books, and then you got Ready Player One. And there might be some more books added in there too between now and then. Then those are pretty cool.
Treasure World. Oh my God.
Yeah. I know you're maybe having flashbacks there,
I am definitely having.
Yeah. 50 cents. You can't buy crap for 50 cents no more. So, I thought those are in plastic, those, they're in really good shape. And I thought, a lot of people even like to take those apart and like frame, have different pages framed in them and stuff.
No, they're great.
Yeah, they're in great condition.
Are Pokemon cards? Are these Pokemon cards? I've never.
Yeah. So those are Pokemon cards. I'm not sure if I'm putting all of those in there, but I need to go back through and look at the, like I've got them. I've got some of them here or whatever. But I need to go back through and look at the prices. I want to put ones that are like $50 to $70 up to like $300 in there. So there'll probably be maybe almost $1,000 worth of Pokemon cards in there.
Wow. A multi.
Yeah. So that's just like, you can take it if you're going camping and you want to cook out on like the little grill they provide right there at the campsite. And you don't want to haul a bunch of like utensils. That's got a wine opener, a knife, a fork, and a spatula and stuff. It's kind of neat, So I don't know if anybody's ever put any of these together, but they're just little metal puzzles, and you almost have to use tweezers and stuff to put it all together. But
Arizona was one of the ships that was sunk at Pearl Harbor.
Yes. So I wanted to, teach some of the younger kids and people that might not know about stuff, some history or whatever.
Yeah, one of the destroyers.
Celebrate to do some
destroyers that were sunk at Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
And then actually, that's the one that still has the monument.
Yes.
Where have I seen this before?
So these, it's kind of hard to tell how big this is because it looks bigger than what it is, but those, to give you a perspective of how big these are, those are the shooter size marbles.
So
this is a mini eye face jug from Jason Goswin, and he donated 2 marbles also, and the artisan marbles. One has uranium in it. That's why it's glowing with a black light. And so those are regular size marbles, mini size face jug. The face jug is by Michael Ball. And if anybody has not collected face jugs, usually the face jugs, the uglier they are, the more it seems like the more expensive. Yeah. So that's kind of a neat little item. So
all right, sir. Well,
Okay.
I don't know how much more we can tell these folks to get them enthused about what you're doing here, but hell, I'm enthused.
Well, hey, so I wanted to mention since 3D Bronze had a question earlier. He said that he was going to donate 3 of the small. I think he said a few or 3 of the small Forest Fin 3-inch boxes.
Yeah.
I don't have pictures of them and stuff because he hasn't sent them to me yet.
I have a picture. I may be able. We have one. So actually, we have a couple.
And then Eric Johnson and his wife from One Clue Short. I believe they said they were going to send me a 1-ounce silver coin. Emma from Emma and Jam, which all the people I'm mentioning said that they were coming. I don't know if 3D Bronze is coming or not, but Emma and her husband's coming. And then Eric and his wife, if they're not closing on the house. Also, Emma's going to send me some signed books and a raccoon cap, she said. And then Wick from Wandering Wick said he's going to send me some stuff. Who else? I feel like I'm missing
Toby from a Gypsy's Kiss.
Yeah, Toby. This guy named Toby from a Gypsy's Kiss said he's going to send half his closet to me. And
I was looking at it.
And
I would send you my map, but I'm going to keep my map. My map. Your Hope Chest map, but I want to keep that.
Cool. So then, remember I said Rich.
If you need any video production electronics of any, I have literally plastic containers full of. Oh well, I used that for 6 months, but now they have this one.
Yeah. So remember Rich Blanford, the one that did the Indian in the book?
Yeah.
So he is sending me an original piece. All these pieces I'm talking about of art are all original pieces too. He's sending me an original piece that he's actually making for the chest. Then Beth Hovanak, she's one of the marble hunters that turned me on to taught me about marble hunting. She's sending me some artisan marbles, and also we have, if she has time, which I hope she has time. You remember the topo maps that Forest Fin they auctioned off or whatever?
It was actually Shiloh.
Shiloh and certified them and all that. Yeah. So she has some of those, and she does art on them. And she's going to do, because I've hunted for the because I'm living in Kentucky, and I've hunted for the 13th tribute cask a lot and stuff. She's going to do a picture, an original drawing on a Forest Fin topo map of Daniel Boone. Wow. And that'll be a really, really good picture. I bought several things from her. Then also the guy, Jeff Conway, that did a lot of the paintings. Everybody knows the trapper and the horses and the turkey that's in the book. He did those. Well, today he texted me, and I went by his house, and he did this to.
I saw that. You sent me a picture of that. A text.
So this is a turkey feather, and he did an old pirate ship on it.
We have a friend back in Santa Fe, and she does art on feathers. She'll do a full spread and then paint
Oh yeah,
Southwestern style painting. So
yeah. And the last thing I want to mention about the Hope Chest Hoedown is anybody that's read the book and knows Santa Claus in the book. That's Terry Kelly. What they might not know about Santa Claus is he's one of the top 5 balloon twisters in the world, and he is going to be there.
Be there. Yeah, you
twisting balloons. I've asked Terry personally to come and twist balloons, and he is going to be there twisting balloons. And let me tell you something: if you're not walking around with one of his balloon items on your head or on your body, you're going to feel like you're nobody.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you what, this guy is. Anything you can dream of, he can make. So he's going to be there. And if you haven't really ever dug in to me, and you haven't gone on my YouTube channel and looked at my videos, go on my YouTube channel and look at the video about Santa Claus and his sled, because I can't remember if I give that backstory or not in the book about the sled that me and Terry are sitting in. I built that for him for Christmas one year, and there's a video on my YouTube channel where I give him that sled, and it's a really good video. So that's all I can think of, man.
Right.
It's a lot.
Well, thank you very much for putting the effort into getting all this detail out for us. I will send you, if you send me your shipping address, the first thing I'll do is I'll send you a couple of these coins just to say thank you for being here tonight. And then I'll use that address. I'll pack up a little package for you of stuff that I've got that copies of signed copies of our books, and I'll see if I can find some artifacts from the Forest Fen artifacts collection that I have. I have two different sets. I'll get a couple of pieces from each set.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. It's more than I ever expected, man. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad you can refer anybody. I feel like you can refer anybody who needs to know anything about what you're up to this show, because we covered it all.
I feel like it. Yeah.
All right, sir. Thanks for joining me tonight. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you, and I appreciate it.
You have a good evening.
I hope to see everybody at the Hoedown.
And we'll say hi to Julie for us.
I'll do that. I'm sure she can hear us in the background. My big mouth. Well, have a good night.
Sir. Thank you. All right, guys. Believe it or not, there's only a couple of you in the room. Let me see who's in the room. We got to do some giveaways. Okay. So, here's giveaways tonight. One giveaway is the Tao of Treasure Hunting book. I'll sign that for you and autograph. I'm not going to say autograph it. I'm just going to sign. I'll say something nice. And then I forgot about these 250th anniversary coins that Temu sent me. Sorry, guys, it's a Temu coin, but it's enameled, and it's really very beautiful. I mean, you'd think that a Chinese, I guess it's got to be a Chinese company, whoever did the design knew what they were talking about. It's got all the same imagery, eagles and Liberty Bells and Capitol buildings on one side and more bald eagles, a Statue of Liberty and the Liberty Bell on the other side. So I'll put these two coins. So we're going to do two drawings tonight, one for the Tao book and one for the coins. The coins are going to go together. Okay. So it's not 3 drawings, it's 2 drawings, one book and one coins. So what should I give away first? Because once you win one, you can't go for the other. Okay, I'm going to give away the book first. All right. Give away the book first. The keyword tonight is hashtag Hope Chest. So get it in your chat. You got a good chance of winning. There's only 6 eligible users. Do not put it in a second time. And if you win one, you don't qualify for the other. All right. So Thank you, Dragon Lady. So we're going to give away the book first. All right. This can happen. Let me get, let's get Nightbot up there so you guys can see what's going on. All right. Anybody else want in? Let's see. Ray. How come it didn't show you, Ray? Refresh this. Hope Chest. Kelly Howard is there. Where's Ray? Ray, did you enter more than once? No. Todd, you already have the book. So I think what I can do here, Todd, is, can I put you back on? Yeah. Okay, Todd, what I'll do is, so I've disqualified you for the first drawing. All right. See, and then I can put you back in. Did he have spaces? Ray, there's a space between your hashtag and hope. So get rid of the space. So Todd, I'm gonna unclick you here, and it'll remove you from the first competition, and then I'll turn you back on for the keys. I mean for the coins. Okay. All right. First giveaway, book. Remember what you have to do. If you're a winner, you have to send an email to gypsieskiss@gmail.com. You'll see it scrolling overhead right now. gypsieskiss@gmail.com with your name, your screen name, and your shipping address. You don't have to pay for shipping. I take care of shipping. Okay. I usually get them out on Saturday. Last week, I missed getting them out on Saturday and I didn't get them out till Monday, but I usually get them out on Saturday. Okay. If I do not hear from you by Friday, I'll put the stuff back into the prize pool. All right. Because I don't like waiting until the following one. I like to get it all done at once. So if I don't hear from you by Friday, I'll put the stuff back in the prize pool if you're a winner. All right. So we have 9 users, 8 eligible because Todd opted out of the book because he's already got one. All right. Is everybody in? So this is for the Tao of Treasure Hunting, autographed with a nice memento saying by me. All right, there we go. This goes quickly. When this guy, what's his name? Nightbot doesn't mess around. Choose a winner and he gives me a winner. Okay, and the winner is Charles Chapman. What the heck? He was the last one in. Charles Chapman. Charles has been around long enough. He knows what to do. Charles Chapman. Let me see. Where's my Go, Charles. Go, Charles. Go, Charles. All right, Charles. You know the thing, huh? Gypsy's Kiss address. I probably already have your address. I think you've won some other things. Okay, now let's put Todd back in. Charles not in. Okay. This one is for the 2 coins, a Gypsy's Kiss coin and the 250th anniversary coin. Okay, ready? There we go. I'm sorry I'm rushing, but it's 10 o'clock, guys. It's almost 10 o'clock. That was a long, but I love Chris because he wants to give you all the details, man. I knew it was going to be a long show. I told Shelly it was going to be a long show. And the winner is Sneaky. What the Sneaky the Searcher? I guess because we only have 8 people, I should, because he just won last week. He won the Tao of Adventure, the Tao of Cycling book. Okay, Sneaky. I have your address already, so just send me just send me an email reminding me because I will, as usual, forget. So, okay, 2 coins to Sneaky and the book to Charles. You know what? Let me write that down right now before I. Where's my notebook? Oh. Just give me a second here. Charles is book and Sneaky. All right. Okay. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a long show. Thanks for sticking around. I'm sorry we waited so long because there was a place where we had a lot more people in the room, and more people would have had chances. But I got some more of those coins. I'll send a couple of these and a couple of, well, more than a couple, to Chris for his treasure chest, and I'll send him a copy of A Gypsy's Kiss and a copy of the Tao of Treasure Hunting, and he can put that in there. And then I've got a couple of artifacts from the Forest Fin Heritage, not the Heritage auction, but the auction, the Oklahoma City auction, where they were auctioning off his artifacts collection. And they had more than one auction. I ran out of money the first auction. I think that I got 2 collections from San Lazaro, and between the two of them, it was for like $4,800. I was broke, and I couldn't spend any more money on anything the rest of me. Before I was married, when I was single. So you can do that kind of stuff when you're single. When you're married, if you go in and say, "Hey, Shell, I just spent $4,800 on some Forest Fin artifacts," she'd beam me with something. That's being married, guys. That's what it's like. For those of you that have been married. Single for 20 years, guys. 20 years. Do you know how much fun I had in that? Well, never mind. All right. It is about time to do the outro. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. You were a lot of fun. Chris was a lot of fun. We just had a good time. Thanks for joining me tonight. And take a look at all that stuff. I put his website in the description box below this video. So go check out his website, and then go and check out, I should have put the link to the stuff on Mysterious Writings. I'll add it once I get it from Chris. I'll put that in, and guys, check him out. End of August. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Great treasure hunt. You looked at that box, and I think Chris is just going to do the best he can to fill it with stuff. So who knows what it's going to end up with. Now, it'll be a lot of fun to see what he does with it. Okay. All right, guys. Good night. Love you.
That wraps up tonight's conversation with Cris Dotson. If you are following the Hope Chest treasure hunt, this was an important update. The main hunt continues, the community is still active, and the August Hope Chest Hoedown is shaping up to be more than a simple meetup. It is part gathering, part Q&A, part celebration, and part treasure hunt. If you plan to attend, make sure you follow the official updates from Chris and the event organizers so they can plan for food, space, and participation. Thanks to Chris for joining us, and thanks to everyone in the AGK community for watching, asking thoughtful questions, and keeping the modern treasure hunt conversation alive. Until next time, search smart, stay safe, and remember, the best hunts are not just about what you find. They are about what the search teaches you along the way.